She tied the knot with royalty. Yet today, it seems her next move could be toward an entirely different throne, billionaires, and moguls. When Meghan Markle first became part of the royal narrative, the world fell in love with the story. A former TV star turned duchess, glowing in tiaras and ceremonies. Her arrival in the royal circle felt like a fairy tale come to life. Hollywood glamour converged with ancient tradition. A Cinderella story rendered in headlines and royal protocol. For a time, it worked beautifully. The wedding was global pageantry. She became one of the most famous women on earth. Brand Meghan soared, but over the years, the sheen began to fade. Royal titles? Still there, but less impactful. Financial support and royal allowances diminished. The castle gates remained closed. And what was left? A sprawling home in California. A high cost of living. Projects that didn't always land. Her podcast? Quiet. Some high-profile deals? Tepid returns. Lifestyle content and public statements, meant to inspire, were too often played back as punchlines. And the gossip mills started turning. Because when your image is built on prestige and proximity to power, and the power fades, you pivot. It's just survival. Whispers from the exclusive circuits of Montecito and Malibu say she's now positioning herself in new company, telecom tycoons, hedge fund sharp elbows, tech magnates. Men who don't need you for a title. They already have their own. She's showing up at ultra-private gatherings, choosing speaking engagements and charity galas whose guest list read like who's who in global business. Conversations about empowerment, sustainability, mental health, topics that travel well in elite circles. And with them, cameras and chatter. One name keeps surfacing in rumors and social media chatter. Elon Musk. Is there substance behind it? Probably not, but the power of association? Immense. Being linked to someone like Musk or other billionaire elites keeps you in the spotlight. It's PR fuel. It ensures your name still moves, still matters. Inside sources say Meghan is quietly building for a next act. Deals that no longer depend on her connection to Harry. New ventures under her own name. More autonomy, more control. Less of the Duchess brand, more of the Meghan brand. Harry, for his part, is said to be craving something different. Quieter life, more peace, less optics. Some insiders suggest he's exhausted by public performance. He wants steady, she wants scale. The rift isn't dramatic, or at least not publicly. There's no headline-grabbing scandal, just a slow drift. Two lives moving in parallel, not quite together. Shared house, shared children, separate agendas. Meghan reportedly is leaning further into her own audience. International leadership forums, investor meetups, entrepreneurial ventures, selective appearances, curated moments. She's sculpting her narrative, but at all costs. Luxury homes, staff, security. To maintain the image is expensive. And with some of her media and streaming deals reportedly under-delivering, the bank is under pressure. Meanwhile, her public perception is in flux. What was once lauded as bold and independent now sometimes reads as ambition, bordering on alienation. The story of freedom, authenticity, escape from the palace. That narrative is stronger when the stakes seem high. But when living in a mansion in California looks like a new gilded cage, people begin to wonder. Talk of divorce that once seemed ridiculous tabloid filler now shows up in water cooler speculation, legal teams preparing. Conversations that closed doors might once have hushed are now allowed whispers. Harry tries to stay connected to protect family unity, but as their paths diverge, the alignment changes. Shared public statements feel more formal. Shared appearances feel choreographed. She's building something that needs her alone. And so Meghan Markle, former Duchess, ambitious entrepreneur, is preparing for her next chapter, one without a royal crown. But maybe one with access to boardrooms, funders, partners who aren't moved by titles, but by influence, money, brand. Will it work? Can you trade royal legacy for billionaire networks and maintain both from the top of the ladder? For Meghan, this may be less about romance and more about reinvention. Less about the prince, more about her own ambition. Because the world may have moved on from royal magic. But when you have hunger, strategy, and resources, you might just build a new empire.